Hey YouTube, this is Wrestling Amusement Park Fan 62. Here is my review of Violent Night. Now, okay, the overall theme of the movie is neat because it's not one you really think about much when it comes to Christmas horror style movies. Um, so most of the time while it is somewhat generic of just wanting this family's millions of dollars. It's one that's cool because it kind of takes a unique twist to it. Um, it starts out with this family, um, interracial parents, and then a daughter named Gertrude. Um, the mother and the daughter pick up the father, and they head toward his parents' house. Um, so his house, so the house looks like one of those big mansions you find in a lot of horror or a lot of movies in general, Christmas or not. And it's pretty well decorated for Christmas. So you have, lights, you have reindeer, you have this and that. Um, and the cool thing about it is like, so they get to the, the gate guard, and he's like, and they're like, hello, like Merry Christmas and stuff like that. So they pull up and then they go in. Um, took took about 5 minutes to introduce the mother of the story. Um, otherwise, or the kid's grandma. Fun fact: the mother in the story played Ellen in Christmas Vacation. So that's an interesting fact. Now, um, and she's a businesswoman. She was on the phone with somebody, and she's like, "If you don't like it, you can stick it up your butt." I'm paraphrasing that. And so then you start to meet a lot of the servants and stuff like that in this movie, and you can tell some of them aren't quite there. You can tell they're different. So you're like, and then the bartender, she'll play an important part in this story. Um, you can tell she's not quite there either. But so they're there. Then the parents and stuff took Gertrude up later on to go get ready for bed, and so they so then she said, "Dad forgot to take me to the mall to see Santa and so forth." So he grabbed a walkie-talkie out of I guess the game room and wrapped it up, and it's like, "Here, you can talk to Santa." Um, now, while this is going on, you have the bad guys in this story. Um, and so you have I forgot his name, John something. Uh, he's one of the main bad guys trying to get in. So he had his decoys, which are the servants inside the house, um, play along. So finally, they were able to get in the house, cut like the Wi-Fi, the phone, and stuff like that. Now, so finally, they were able to get to the vault just to find out it's been wiped out. So the main bad guy um, did not like that at all, and um, so he's kind of like, "Who did that?" and stuff like that. Um, Meanwhile, you have Santa Claus. Now, the cool thing they made this Santa out to be is that he's not like the traditional Santa that you see. So typically, when you think of Santa, you think of a guy who's jolly all the time with a white beard and the coat and stuff like that. At the beginning of the movie, it showed him at a pub in London, England, drinking. Um, and so he went back to his sleigh. So the bartender at the time saw he went up toward the roof. And she's like, "What?" So he, so the sleigh went up and he flew, and then right as you saw it, he threw up over and hit the bartender. And she was like, "Okay." So he started making his rounds. Now, the cool thing about this is in the story, it talked about Santa's past. This is one thing you don't typically ever see in Christmas movies is how Santa Claus became Santa Claus. Um, so he talked about how a long time ago he was a warrior, um, and he had his trusty sledgehammer, and he killed a bunch of people. So, fast forward with Santa Claus involved. Um, so they hold the family hostage, and they um, so they're trying to figure out how to get to the money. So they finally found the money, and they find out um, the money's been taken out. Now, the cool thing with Santa is it showed some of his background from when he was, it looked like a Viking or something like that. Um, and it showed him killing these people in different ways. So I'm not going to go into more details about it. But one, like, showed one where he used like a ice skate and kind of cut like that, and then another one where he tied a rope around one of them and turned on a snow blower, stuff like that. But one of Santa's first kills in the movie, which was kind of neat, was one of the bad guys fell and got impaled from ice. So that was kind of neat. So you started to see Santa kick butt, and so Santa saw the main bad guys got on um, like snow machines and went toward like it looked like an old shed or something they used at the edge of the on the edge of this property. And so they also took the grandmother in the story with them, and so she pushed herself off and found the gun as well. So the cool thing toward the end of the story is um it showed Santa battling the bad guy as well. Um out and so it's cool because they kind of use like a lot of traditional like ice stuff, so like ice picks and stuff like that. Now, one of the coolest deaths in the movie, I will say, is the typical like Santa magic shtick, where instead of Santa when he goes up, he stands at the top of the chimney. Um, he took him up, and then so basically when he came to the top, the bad guy was beheaded. So that was kind of funny. And so then he's standing there going ho ho ho, and he got shot at by another guy. The grandmother comes in, um, and it's like, "You're right, somebody is going to die," and she shoots him, and um, so then they finally said their goodbyes to Santa. Now, the thing I forgot to mention as well in the movie was earlier, the reindeer took off, and Santa wasn't sure why. Okay, now overall, this movie is a interesting movie, I will say. I do like the aspect of Christmas gone wrong. Now, do I exactly agree with some of this movie? No, absolutely not. But I do like some of it as well. Um, I do like how it takes place in like a big snowy area, a lot of it. So, but I will warn you, there is a lot of blood throughout this movie. So if you have not, so if you're not a big fan of blood in general, I don't suggest you do it. If you are, I do highly suggest you see it. I am sorry for that long pause. I thought I was hearing something.